Understood, Admiral Ron. We're almost at the server. Keep us posted. What's our status?
We remain undetected on encrypted Geth channels. Resistance is likely only within the server.
Within? It's that big?
You misunderstand. Direct virtual interface is necessary to extract Geth from the server. You must enter our consensus.
You want me to virtually interact with the Geth?
That's insane. You're talking about a virtual world built for synthetics. Hostile Geth synthetics.
I'm not a machine. How do I go into a virtual world?
Cerberus conducted research on Geth human interfaces. They called it Project Overlord. We monitored their transmissions. We have refined the interface they created and have equipment from Normandy to facilitate safe contact. We request your trust.
You wouldn't be on the Normandy if I didn't trust
You are an unknown. This is an advantage. Geth security is not adept at targeting organic thought processes. While we occupy the system's intrusion countermeasures, you will disable the squadrons by removing Geth from the server.
If it saves the live ships, we've got to try it.
Intervention is necessary to preserve creator forces. This platform can enter the facility undetected. We will assemble the necessary equipment before your arrival.
Wait, you're not going to... Let's set the shuttle down by the cliff.
Yes, hostile Geth fighter squadrons are networked to this server. Due to restricted resources, it is best if you connect alone.
Let's do it.
Initiating peer network integration. Proceed to docking port. Mapping to consensus. Remain still. Shepard Commander, excess movement during an upload is discouraged. Upload complete. Consensus integration holding.
What is this?
We've installed filters to allow you to make visual sense of this server's raw data. Your mind perceives our world as something familiar.
I wouldn't call this familiar. Where are you?
Here,
You look different.
we have made ourselves visually distinct for your convenience.
What about Geth already in here?
You will perceive Geth as surveillance footage, audio logs, sensor records. We do not require bodies, as our software communes. Our hardware is merely a tool. This is our true world. As we remove Geth, it will grow dark.
And what does turning off the lights do?
The Geth fighter squadrons communicate with platforms on their spacecraft. We will destroy backup data. Consensus will be nullified. This server will be terminated.
The sooner this place shuts down, the better.
We are in agreement. We will proceed. There are 2 communication nodes on this server. We must access them to disable the hostile Geth's fighters. We will safeguard your exit port while remotely monitoring your progress. Establishing connection to access point. Warning, connection blocked by infected code. Use our combat software to disrupt the infection.
I wondered what the gun was for.
This foreign code is a manifestation of the old machine signal.
You're surprised the Reapers are all over your servers?
No, continue to the access point.
Okay, I've got to ask. Why a gun?
We have noted your affinity for firearms.
And thanks, I think.
Established. Proceed to the access point. Establishing connection to communication node. Error. Access denied.
Is the Reaper keeping you out?
Unknown. You must investigate. Warning. Reaper presence detected. Data cluster contains infected code. Reaper scanner access received. We cannot proceed until we gain access to this data cluster.
What is this?
Data clusters contain historical data. Your connection permits streaming of information from our archives. You must disrupt the infection of this data cluster to continue.
You really want to rename the VI network?
Absolutely. The mobile hardware release deserves a living example. Unit 01. What is the Keelish word for server? The word is
Geth. This data cluster contains information timestamped 290 years ago.
And this is the hospital.
Weren't you here until midnight fixing 0173?
Creator, this
Well,
unit
it
contains
needed
no
research.
It is still capable of serving.
Wasn't that footage from the past? Why are the Quarians masked?
They are viewed through your perception. You see them as you know them now. Reprogrammed.
Well, let's take a look.
Creator, this unit is ready to serve. What has it done wrong?
Let's cut the
You may proceed to the last data cluster. Accessing data cluster.
They're pinned.
open fire.
One's going for a weapon.
So who won?
The platform arming itself was an agricultural unit. By opening fire on attacking creators, it saved simpler domestic Geth following it. The creators were determined to destroy our hardware. We were determined to survive. Establishing connection with the remaining server node.
Hello, Commander. Are you there?
Have you come under attack, Admiral Ron?
The Geth squadrons have arrived, but something is amiss. Half their fighters have stopped functioning. We will continue to hold out as long as we can.
How are we doing?
One node remains.
What's wrong?
Infection programs are increasing. We have restabilized. You must continue.
You mean it grows back?
Yes. However, disrupting vulnerable points in the infection may slow down its replication. We require access to Geth data cluster. This ROM will points of the infected to slow the replication speed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. point further along the function. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster. There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. You must search for a vulnerable point in the infection. Disrupting it will slow the infection's ability to replicate. Target this spot to slow its growth toward the data cluster.
Out of the way! You can't do this to them! I said step away from the Geth!
This is insane! We need the Geth! You can't just destroy them for asking.
Time's up! Throw her in with the others.
Looks like the war wasn't popular with everyone.
A few creators attempted mediation. They failed. We cannot establish a connection without access to this data cluster. There is a vulnerable point on the infection leading to the data cluster. Disrupt the infection at this spot. It will slow regrowth long enough to access the data cluster. Target the vulnerable points of the infection to slow its replication speed. has declared martial law.
I repeat, release the rogue Geth units and come out of the safe house. This is your final warning.
Creator Megara, this unit does not understand. It has not taken part in hostilities.
It doesn't matter to them. I need to get you out of here.
This conflict exceeds Creator safety parameters. We will surrender our hardware if it ends hostilities.
No, it's all right. We'll go back to the access tunnel and... Oh!
Creator Megara, what is your status? Creator Megara. The Creators never formally ended hostilities. They have officially been at war with the Geth for 291 years. Accessing data. This is data from the end of warfare on Rannoch.
The Outpool is down. Do not engage the Geth. I repeat, avoid contact.
Geth pursuit is breaking off 100 clicks past Rannoch. All captains fall back to the mass relay.
This isn't happening now?
It is timestamped 290 years ago. It is the Creator Exodus at the end of the Morning War. We have secured freedom. The Creators were no longer a threat, so we abandoned pursuit.
Wait. The Geth spared the last Quarians? You let them go.
Our future was uncertain. Our networking was primitive. We stayed within our limits. We are living.
Something's happening to the Geth. The fighter squadrons have stopped, but detect no more active programs inside their ships. Admiral Hangarl's fleet is driving them back. The live ships are safe, Commander.
Route access acquired, severing all connections to this communication node. Geth no longer reside on this server. We may now exit the consensus.
What's wrong?
You must proceed activity at a point. Disconnect from mother. Terminating remote access. Removing programs. Deleting archives.
Shepard, how do you feel?
Did it work?
Geth fighters have been disabled. Any remaining squadrons attacking the live ships have withdrawn. The server is offline.
Are you sure? What's happening?
We have transferred Geth programs from the server into these platforms.
Why?
They wish to join us.
They what?
While Shepard Commander removed the Reaper infection, we judged we could persuade hostile Geth programs to reunite with ours. We were correct. These Geth have renounced the old machines and will oppose the Reapers. They are now us.
I understand not wanting to leave anyone behind.
You accept our actions.
The live ships are safe and we have more Geth on our side. We both did what we came to do.
Acknowledged.
Glad to hear it. Let's go.
Impressive, Commander. The Geth squadrons attacking our live ships have been completely neutralized. If there is any chance we could duplicate the feat, I would be happy to lend my expertise.
You'd have to ask the Geth we found if you're looking for other servers.
I thought as much, but your Geth claims to have no data available whenever I inquire. Perhaps you can help me with something else.
What's that?
How did you get Geth Primes to work with you?
They volunteered.
I see. Well, should you wish to examine these Geth to confirm their new allegiance, please do not hesitate to contact me. Zen out.
Commander, Admiral Hackett's available on VidCom.